Hey there, my stampin' friends. Susan here at Pumpkin Hill Stampers. So it's been a while since I've posted a video, and part of that is because life's been crazy. But I am making a demo swap today, and I thought I would share it with you as I go along. So today I'm going to make this card for you. It's really a pretty simple sketch, but I'm using the Planted Paradise stamps and the new Full of Life Designer Series paper. So I'm going to show you all the parts and pieces, and I'll put together for you real quick. But first let me show you the Full of Life DSP. So this is 6x6 paper, and it's really bright, vibrant color, so I really like it. And it's also kind of done with the watercolor techniques for coloring it. So let me show you a few pieces at a time so the colors don't get too crazy. So we've got kind of these brush stroke patterns, right? And then the back side have these beautiful rainbow effects. And then we have bubbles. I call them bubbles, little splotches of laid over color, and they also have beautiful rainbow effects on the back. Then we've got some tile panels. Now this is tiny tiles, and then these two are larger. Okay, and you can see they're different color variations. And then the back of those, right, watercolor and rainbows. So lots of rainbows for those of us who love that. And then we've got this kind of sunburst pattern. This one's kind of a rainbow. This one's your blue and purples, and this is your blue and greens. And those also have really cool backgrounds. So I am using this paper today because I wanted something bright and cheery. And I kind of wanted to do a card that wasn't necessarily for the holidays. It was just for fun, everyday kind of stuff. So let me see. I'm going to be using this panel for one of my pieces, and I'm using the back of this tiled panel. I'm using part of this. So those are the two pieces I'm going to work with today. All right. So, like I said, here's the card we're going to make, and I'll take you through all my different sections. Alright, so first off, we have our base card, which I'm using Shaded Spruce, and I embossed that with the Fern embossing folder, good old Fern embossing folder. I still have it, and I still love it, and I'm using it for this card. So I've gone ahead and embossed half of my card. Okay, mine's opening the long way. Half of my card with the Fern, so that's going to be my embossed background. Okay. Then I decided to break these down. I'm using a 3x3 section of this, and I'm using a 1x3 section of the rainbow. And I decided, I cut mine 3 inches this way, and then I'm using these colors with the green half to go with my background. If you wanted to go with the brighter side, I would just pick one of these other colors as your background color, but I went with Shaded Spruce. Okay. Now all of that's going to get mounted up on a piece of white. So how did I decide how big my white was? So I'm going to play with my grid paper, my mat, right? And I wanted everything to have about 1/8 of an inch spacing. So if I put this on my grid and I put that on my grid, then I know I need to go 3 1/4. Okay, so that's how wide I am, 3 1/4. And then I come down here and I say, okay, I need it to be 4 3/8. So I'm 3 1/4 by 4 3/8, and these two pieces are just going to make kind of a block pattern on my white panel. Okay, and we're just going to put that down with liquid adhesive. So that's pretty easy, right? Decide on the size you want to use, figure out your background mount piece, and then just put it together. So I really do like this bright watercolored washed patterned paper. Now, you could certainly make these watercolor patterns on your own as long as you have time to actually sit in watercolor and let it dry, and then cut it up and use it. So if you want a shortcut, go ahead and grab the DSP. If you want to take the time to do the watercoloring yourself, great, you do that. But you can copy the patterns whichever way you want to go. Okay, from there I have a die cut. This die is from the Everyday Details dies, so I bought that to go with the Everyday Details set earlier this year. So I'm just going to do a nice simple rectangle with that pattern of edging on it, those little tiny bumps. So I have that, and I'm going to use my Shaded Spruce ink to go with my Shaded Spruce cardstock, and I'm stamping with Shaded Spruce ink. A little tiny sentiment from Wonderful Thoughts. I'm using "You Are Much Appreciated." So when I do swaps, I try not to make the card too... Sorry, my phone is on. I try not to make my card too specific so it can be used with whatever the demo decides to use it for. You are much appreciated. And it works with everything. Okay, so I have that. So I'm just going to put on there here. Now, I told you I was using the Planted Paradise stamp set. So what I've done is I've got a pot, and I'm going to use pumpkin pie for this one. Okay, and I just stamp my pot. Now, they are two-sided stamps, so if you take this off, flip it over. These are like the reversible stamps. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe are these not reversible stamps? They're supposed to be reversible stamps. Okay, so maybe I just need to clear it off a little bit. So, there we go. So if you want to make the shadow of it, now I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp it here. So see, you can stamp it with the detail or without the detail. And if you wanted to overlap them, I'll do that once. If you wanted to overlap them or use different colors, I'll flip this over again. Oh, see, now I get confused. Which side? There, that side has the texture. And then you could two-step stamp over the top. So you've got the background and then the other one on top. But I just did the single stamp for this time. And then I'm going to use Shaded Spruce for my leaves. Again, tying in with my card color. Okay, so I did a stamp, pot, and then two leaves. Now, like I said, you could do two-tone stamping with both of them, but I decided to keep it easy because I'm making a bunch of these for a swap, and I have to cut these out. So that's the next thing we do. So I took my paper snips and I trimmed out the pot and I trimmed out the two leaves. Now I did that ahead of time because that takes a while on video and I don't want to take too long here. Okay, so we have our parts and pieces. Then I'm just going to take dimensionals. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm actually going to put my dimensionals on the fronts of these leaves at the bottom. Now you might be saying, why in the heck are you doing that? Well, I want to give them some dimension and I want to stick them on the back of my pot and have that built in for dimension. Okay, so now I don't have to have too much. So now I have my pot and I have my tag. So now my tag is also going to go on dimensionals. I'm going to use regular size ones for that. I'm just going to offset these kind of together across that white band in the middle. So this is going here. Okay, and now I'm going to add another dimensional to the back of this to put that onto my card. So now, because these are popped up on dimensionals and then I have the pot on one, it's all going to be the same height off the card. Okay, so just like that. Now, you could add this all on with liquid adhesive so it's not too popped up, but I'm going to go ahead and pop it up again. Now, I'm just going to put my pop-ups, my dimensionals in the corners because I've got all that popped up center stuff, which will make it all kind of even thickness. And then I'm going to do my best to center this, frame it with the background embossed layer, and there we go. So, pretty easy, right? A nice simple layout, some bright colors, all pulled from the Designer Series paper. Some fun dry embossing in the back, and like I said, if you want to do fun two-step stamping where you mix and match colors or shades, you could do that as well with the stamp set. So there's the one I just made you for today, and then here's the other one I'm also making. This time I used a smaller pot and I used crushed curry for my plant and a different set of leaves. So you can really mix and match these and make some fun cards and really use them throughout the year with different sentiments. So that's it, guys. A little interruption with my phone, but you know, this is life, and my life is a little crazy these days. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know you stopped by and watched the video, see if something new popped out for you. I'd love to hear about that, and I love to know that you're enjoying the projects I share. Alright, until next time, do some fun stamping. Bye!